Imagine a world where two legendary titans, one, a massive skyscraper-climbing ape, and the other, a radioactive city-crushing lizard, are destined to collide. The battle between King Kong and Godzilla isn't just a fight, it's a clash of myths, cultures, and cinematic history. But how did this rivalry begin? Why do audiences keep coming back for more? And what does their ongoing feud say about us as a society? Today, we're diving deep into the origins, evolution, and future of the most epic monster rivalry of all time. Before they became pop culture icons, Kong and Godzilla were born from two very different storytelling traditions. King Kong, the tragic beast, made his debut in 1933, a creature of raw power and emotion, captured from the mysterious Skull Island and brought to civilization, only to be destroyed by it. His story was one of Beauty and the Beast, of mankind's relentless pursuit of control over nature. Godzilla, on the other hand, emerged in 1954 as something far more terrifying, a force of nuclear destruction. Born from Japan's fears of atomic warfare, Godzilla was no mere monster, but a walking, roaring symbol of devastation. While Kong was a product of adventure and fantasy, Godzilla was a reflection of real-world horror. These two creatures couldn't be more different. And yet, in 1962, Toho Studios decided to bring them together for one of the biggest cinematic showdowns ever, King Kong vs. Godzilla. But why? What sparked this legendary crossover? The idea of King Kong fighting Godzilla might sound absurd at first, but back in the 1960s, it was a genius move. Japan's Toho Studios had already turned Godzilla into a blockbuster icon, and they saw an opportunity to bring Kong into their world. The 1962 film King Kong vs. Godzilla was a monster spectacle, using suitmation and special effects to bring these titans to life. The film wasn't just about two monsters brawling, it was also a commentary on media sensationalism and corporate greed, as the fictional pharmaceutical company in the movie tried to profit from the creature's existence. And yet, despite its campy charm, the movie left audiences divided. Who actually won? Some say Kong was the victor, while others argue that Godzilla was never truly defeated. One thing was certain, the world was hooked, and the rivalry was just getting started. After their first encounter, Kong and Godzilla took separate paths, each starring in their own films, growing stronger and evolving in different ways. Godzilla went on to fight an entire roster of Kaiju, becoming both a destroyer and a protector of humanity in various films. Kong, meanwhile, disappeared from cinema for years until making his grand return in King Kong, 1976, and later in Peter Jackson's King Kong, 2005. But their rivalry never truly faded. It lived on in comics, toys, video games, and endless fan debates. Who was stronger? Who would win in a rematch? As special effects advanced and Hollywood's appetite for monster movies grew, the inevitable rematch became a matter of when, not if. Nearly 60 years after their first battle, Kong and Godzilla finally returned to the big screen together in Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. This time the fight was bigger, the stakes were higher, and the special effects were groundbreaking. Audiences saw a reimagined Kong, more intelligent, more powerful, standing toe-to-toe with a Godzilla who had reached new levels of destruction. The film also introduced Hollow Earth, a theory expanding Kong's origins and deepening the lore of these monsters. But beyond the action, the movie explored deeper themes: humanity's role in controlling nature, the consequences of tampering with forces beyond our understanding, and the idea that these titans, though ancient, still have a place in our modern world. Most importantly, Godzilla vs. Kong reignited the global fascination with their rivalry, proving that these two icons are more relevant than ever. So, where do we go from here? With Godzilla x Kong, the new empire on the horizon, it's clear that this rivalry and their shared universe is far from over. But will they remain enemies, or will they join forces against a greater threat? What makes the battle between Kong and Godzilla so enduring isn't just the spectacle, it's what they represent. They are titans of myth, symbols of power, and reflections of our deepest fears and aspirations. Whether they fight, team up, or face new monsters, one thing is certain: their legacy is eternal. What do you think? Who truly reigns supreme? The King of Skull Island or the King of Monsters? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of Kaiju.